Hi, I'm Mary, and together with Nami and Melissa, we're all 26Js and Team MnM. For our summer startup tour, we wanted to investigate the food tech space and look at how nutrition is being reinvented by food tech entrepreneurs and emerging technologies, and also learn about what is needed for these solutions to be broadly adopted and scaled.
We choose this topic because we're each interested in the intersection of food, health, and tech. And we are all personally passionate about health and wellness. In each of our home countries, we notice there are white spaces in the consumer nutrition space, and lots of startups are emerging in the last few years. They launch creative products that solve nutrition needs in a scalable way. So we wanted to learn about these founder journeys. We spoke to over 30 founders, investors, and VCs across Vietnam, Hong Kong, Canada, and the US. And we have chosen to highlight a few that best represent our tour learnings today.
First, we share about Goodterm, founded by Graugos Insight alumni. Goodterm is a Vietnam-based startup focusing on data-driven and sustainable inland shrimp farming. Talking with Graugos, we learned that food innovation here is very context-aware and hands-on. Instead of flashy technology, Graugos relies on operational excellence and science-backed decisions to ensure that his farm has the best shrimp health and water quality. We also realized that scaling requires precision and a deep understanding of local realities, especially in Vietnam's fragmented market with thousands of small farms. And finally, sustainability is a long-term game, and it had to build through data, iteration, and collaboration across the ecosystem, not only something that can happen overnight or solely depends on technology. And overall, Goodterm reminded us that impactful innovation in food tech comes from depth, precision, and persistence.
The next company we met with was called BioFect Innovations, based out of Toronto, Canada. BioFect's mission is to make healthier alternatives without compromising taste, mostly using the technology of precision fermentation. Their hero product is a sugar alternative called brazine, which comes from a unique berry from West Africa and is 2,000 times sweeter than sugar, but is a natural protein and much healthier than current sugar alternatives. However, it took many iterations for BioFect to find their product market fit. They started out producing other compounds like cannabinoids and heme. However, these didn't actually have enough market demand. And so a key learning the founders really emphasized was the need to do thorough market research to ensure that you're producing something that people actually need and can access. And another learning was to not be afraid of pivoting and to repurpose as much as what you've already built as possible, in their case, their technology, rather than starting from scratch, because this allows you to scale and to gain traction.
For next, we have Leccha from Hong Kong. Scaling a food tech company is not as simple as selling typical consumer goods. Health benefits are the key differentiator in most of these companies, and educational marketing is vital for driving growth. For Leccha, it involves communicating traditional Chinese medicine benefits in their kombucha to those who are not yet consumers. Leccha accomplishes this through events and community engagement. It is now available in major retail locations across Hong Kong, and they host events to build product traction. The founders are currently exploring the idea of educational marketing through podcasts and thinking about expanding in the US.
Besides innovation startup, we also talked to VC to understand what are needed to scale up the business. One VC standing out is Alibaba Entrepreneur Fund, operating across APAC and focused on identifying and investing in high-potential early-stage food tech startups. What stood out is how Alibaba approached scalability as an ecosystem builder, not just an investor. They don't simply provide funding, they actually connect startups to their digital infrastructure, logistics, and data network so that they can help them grow faster and smarter. We also learned that scaling innovation in Asia requires adaptabilities. Consumer behavior, regulation, and supply chain vary widely across markets. So Alibaba focused on building platforms flexible enough to localize while maintaining efficiency. Overall, Alibaba model shows how scale can come from enabling collaboration and empowering startups to plug in a larger ecosystem rather than just scaling in isolation. We're interested in exploring entrepreneurship during our MBA, and the lesson from the SSUP will help us think about what that path will look like. We've learned a lot about the food tech and nutrition space, and we learned that it's possible to differentiate even in the very crowded market like Vietnam or Hong Kong, if you really understand your customer and the problem they want to solve. Food tech startups, like other startups, are not easy, but with a unique value proposition, there's a chance for us to thrive and scale up. And if you are also interested in food tech, feel free to reach out to us and we would love to connect.